Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we have the highly anticipated manga releases for the month of June 2025. As usual, I'd like to remind everybody that this video series focuses on the brand new volume 1s, not necessarily a long-running series that has a new volume out. So again, this is just focused on the brand new number 1s. And while I'm at it, let me remind you that you can always find me on social media. If you want to chat, just search for Manga GEEKDOM, or if you would like to become a member, that'd be great as well. And better yet, I do have a Discord server free to join. The link is down below. It's a great community talking all things anime, manga, video games, movies, you name it. So with all of that out of the way, let's get started with the video. From Viz Media, Kill Blue Volume 1 is coming out. This is by Tadatoshi Fujimaki, an ongoing action comedy shonen series that started back in 2023. Juzo Ogami has never led a normal life. He was picked up by a criminal organization as a child and grew up to become a legendary hitman. But everything changes when he's bitten by a mysterious insect and becomes a teenager once again. Can this battle-hardened assassin handle the rigors of middle school life? From Udon Entertainment, we finally have the release of Veil Volume 1, Temperature of Orange. This is by Koteri, an ongoing romance slice of life that started back in 2019. Like a classic film, he and she encountered each other by chance. He was an on-duty police officer in the city. She was a runaway heiress. When he learned that she is looking for work, he decided to welcome her as the police station's telephone operator. This was the beginning of the everyday lives of he and she and the delicate distance between them. From Square Enix, we have On and Off Work-Life Imbalance Volume 1 by Shinosuke Kanazawa, a romantic series that started back in 2023. There are two sides to every working adult. One they show when they're on the job, and one they show when they're off the clock. For co-workers Sotaro Amata and Akira Hanku, this holds doubly true. Outside the office, these fashionistas don outfits that metamorphose them into completely different people. So what happens when they form a connection after hours without recognizing who the other person is? From Viz Media, we have the release of The Bugle Call Song of War Volume 1. This is by Mozuko Sora and art by Higuro Tomori. In the arboreal year 1294, the world is dominated by 9 massive towers known as the Spires, remnants of an advanced civilization. They are filled with lost secrets and powerful knowledge that nations struggle to possess. Luca is a bugler in a mercenary company who wants nothing more than to leave the battlefield behind and become a true musician, a maestro, but marked as one of the enigmatic branch hexed and gifted with the strange ability to see the sound of his instrument. Luca finds himself drawn reluctantly into a war of epic proportions. From Yen Press, we have the release of The Skeleton Enchanted by the Cursed Blade, Volume 1, The Greatest Demon Lord Who Conquers the Dungeon and Commands an Invincible Army, by Nobuhisa Tsuruoka and Nozomi Ginyoku, an ongoing action fantasy seinen series that is a little not safe for work and first started publication back in 2021. In the depths of the labyrinth, survival of the fittest reigns supreme. The strong prey on the weak, which dooms the skeletons, who are at the bottom of the food chain, to a life of fleeing from other monsters. That is, until their fateful meeting. Upon encountering a mysterious and powerful sword imbued with an enchanting sentience of its own, one intrepid skeleton gains a newfound hope that he'll someday claw his way to the top. From Kodansha, we have the release of Roar, A Star in the Abyss, Volume 1. This is by Ai Okawe, a suspense showbiz manga that started back in 2023. Misato had a perfect childhood, with parents who loved her, and a home on an idyllic island in Japan's inland sea. But then a TV show starts shooting in town. Misato's cast as an extra, and in an instant, her life is turned on its head. A woman appears claiming to be her real mother, and before she knows it, Misato is living in a lavish mansion surrounded by greedy schemers of all stripes. The curtain rises on the story of a rising star who plunges into an abyss where the only sustenance is vengeance. From Yen Press, we have Desperate March for Love. This is by Michika Tomizawa, and it is a GL school series, 10 chapters collected across one volume. Rei has feelings for Ami, a girl in her class. When she confesses, she fully expects to get turned down, until Ami says she likes her back. But now that they're officially a couple, Ami seems a little off. While Rei is head over heels for her, Ami is a player who isn't even sure how to love someone. Rei is crushed by Ami's seemingly careless approach to their relationship, but she won't give up. Will Rei's earnest but cumbersome feelings for Ami prevail in the end, or is the girl she loves simply too far out of reach? From Mad Cave Studios, we have the release of Infini-t Force Volume 1 Arc to the Future by Ukyo Kodachi and Tatsuma Ejiri. This one was originally published back in 2015 to 2020, 62 chapters collected across 10 volumes in this action Super Sentai seinen manga. It all began when high school student Emi Kaido received a mysterious pencil with the power to grant wishes. When she's swept up in a robbery at the convenience store, she uses the pencil to call upon heroes for protection, but she could have never imagined the heroes that would answer her call. Now Gatchaman is living in her apartment, posing as her uncle and eating all her snacks. That may even be the least of her problems. The detective in her building turned out to be the vigilante justice fighter called Hurricane Polymar. There's a cyborg kid named Kashan, and one of her teachers is calling himself Tekaman. It's up to Emi to get all of the heroes to their home worlds, but first, they need to figure out how Emi's pencil works. Moreover, how did it come into her possession and why? From Kodansha, we have Issak, Omnibus Volume 1. This is by Shinji Makari and Double S. Issak is an ongoing action seinen series, historical fiction, that started back in 2017. The year is 1620. Europe is riven with the conflagrations that will grow into the 30 Years' War. Catholic and Protestant forces clash across battlefields ruled by sword and gunpowder alike, and mercenaries of every stripe ply for their trade. Among them is Issak, a lone Japanese warrior wielding a matchlock gun of strange design on a sworn mission to find and kill the man who murdered his master and fled Japan for the other side of the world. From Viz Media, Girl Crush Volume 1. This is written and drawn by Midori Tayama. This one is an ongoing idol series that started back in 2020. Tenka Momose was a quiet and withdrawn child, but before long she realized that the most effective way to protect herself wasn't hiding from other kids, it was being the best at everything. After years of armoring herself with excellence, Tenka lives safely atop her cool girl pedestal, admired and idolized by everyone. But her flawless composure is suddenly shaken by a very average schoolmate's impressively big dreams. At first, Tenka is scornful of Erian Sato's ambition to become a K-pop idol, but the other girl's passion is so irresistible that Tenka soon finds herself with idol dreams of her own. From Seven Seas Entertainment, we have Cats with Jobs Volume 1 from Pandania, an ongoing comedy series 4-coma book that started back in 2021. Ever wondered what it would be like if your cat had to get a job? The cats in this book do every kind of occupation you can imagine, and they do it just the way they like. Feline chefs, dentists, wrestlers, detectives, opera singers, and much more await in this hilarious full-colored edition. Also included a set of stickers featuring some of the working cats. From One Piece Books, My Death Flags Show No Sign of Ending, Volume 1. This is by Mitsuya Otosu, Izumi, and Atiki. This one's an ongoing isekai action adventure fantasy that started back in 2020. Normal college student Kazuki Hirasawa finds himself inside the body of Harold Stokes, an evil character in the world of Kazuki's favorite game, Bravehearts. The problem is, the game's events go as they should. He'll one day find himself defeated by the hero's party. Will he be able to find a path to survival and avoid his many death flags using the incredible power of Harold Stokes' body and his own knowledge of the game? My Adorable Betrothed by Dokueki. This one is published by Tokyo Pop, and it's a BL series that lasted for 6 chapters, collected in one volume, was first published back in 2019 all the way to 2022. Leo, the son of a wealthy family, is the silent and shy adopted brother of the cool and regal Sui. When they were born, their parents predicted they would be wed, and after Leo's parents died, he joined the family officially. But his relationship to Sui changed forever. From Kodansha, we have the release of Senpai is an Otokonoko, My Cross-Dressing Classmate, Volume 1. This is written and drawn by Pom, and it is a drama romance that lasted for 100 chapters, published from 2019 to 2021. First-year high school student Saki is head over heels for the older Makoto. After all, this Senpai is tall, beautiful, and oh so cool. Who wouldn't fall for a girl like her? The bright and bubbly Saki doesn't hesitate to confess her feelings, but Makoto turns her down because Makoto isn't a girl, but rather a cross-dressing boy. Makoto is used to the negatives that come from his love of cross-dressing, harsh gossip from his classmates, the disapproval of his mother. Most of his classmates already know, but still, when he tells Saki, he expects her to be disgusted. Yet Saki's feelings only grow stronger, and she says she doesn't care about Makoto's gender expression. In fact, she's determined to win him over and become his first love. Spice and Wolf Collector's Edition, Volume 1. This is being released by Yen Press, written by Isuna Hasekura, with art by Keito Kome and Yu Ayakura. The classic adventure drama fantasy series that spun from the light novel of the same name ran for 108 chapters, collected across 16 volumes. However, these hardcover collector's editions will be 2-in-1. Join traveling merchant Kraft Lawrence and Hollow, the White Wolf, on their epic tale of love and adventure. With their witty banter, clever negotiations, and unexpected romance, this is one journey you won't want to miss. From Kodansha, we have the Naoko Takeuchi collection editions of Codename Sailor V Volumes 1 and 2. As of this video, both are set to release in the same month, but that might change. Originally, Sailor V was published between 1991 and 1997, 15 chapters across 3 volumes, but these are collected in 2. A year before meeting Sailor Moon and her destiny as a member of the Sailor Guardians, Minako was the first hero to find her calling. At age 13, all this teen can talk about is finding a boyfriend, but her dreams change when a talking cat with a crescent moon on his forehead reveals her true identity as the Soldier of Justice, Sailor V. From Yen Press, we have the release of the 13th Footprint Volume 1 by Kei Sanbei. It's an ongoing suspense series that started publication back in 2023. After Toya and Haru's son, Ao, was released from the hospital, the Togawa family was ready for a fresh start in their picturesque new home. But the life Toya envisioned for his family is turned upside down when mysterious postcards begin to appear. No sender, no return address, just a note describing an event that will happen in the future. Following the prophetic cards, Toya embarks on an adventure to help those in need, keep his family safe, and unravel the mystery before disaster catches up with them. From Titan Manga, we have the release of Outsiders Volume 1 by Akira Kano. Delve into a world where vampires and werewolves clash in the shadows, and humans unravel the secrets of an ancient feud. Emma, a high school student who is full of energy and determination, embarks on a perilous path that will challenge her beliefs and reshape her destiny. From Yen Press, we have The Ragnarok System of the Desperate Reincarnated Demon Lord and the 7 Aggressive Maidens, Volume 1. This is by Kenji Saito with art from Gunpei, a fantasy seinen series that started publication back in 2022 and is a little not safe for work. Love, war, and reincarnation. Rintaro, a renowned hero who helped save Japan from being overrun by demonic monsters, has become a socially awkward university student. Though he still has his incredible abilities, there's one thing he doesn't have: a girlfriend. But one day, a princess suddenly approaches him and asks to be his wife, his girlfriend, or even his friends with benefits? From Yen Press, we have The Heroic Tale of the Villainous Prince, Volume 1. This is by Hirosaki and Hana Amano, an ongoing comedy fantasy romance that started back in 2023. With his raven locks and ebony eyes, Prince Alfred is the cursed child of his kingdom, gladly shunned as a person of ill omen. One day, Alfred happens upon the scene of his older brother, Crown Prince Leor, publicly breaking off his engagement to his fiancée, Charlotte. Although not exactly a knight in shining armor, Alfred decides to save the damsel in distress anyway by taking advantage of his villainous reputation. Little did he know that single act would turn the wheel of fate and change his destiny. From 7 Seas Entertainment, we have Yuki Kodama's Wolf's Daughter, A Werewolf's Tale, Volume 1. This one is an ongoing josei supernatural romance that started back in 2022. Tsukina is an average high school girl with a supernatural secret, one that even she is unaware of. After an encounter with a man named Hayate, Tsukina begins to realize she's not entirely human. Her great athletic ability, her enhanced sight at night, even the reason she craves raw meat all comes down to one answer. She's a werewolf. But this reveal leads to more questions. Who is she really? What does it mean to be a werewolf? Just where will Sugina's journey of self-discovery lead her? Dara-san of Reiwa, Volume 1. This is a Yen Press release, and it is written and drawn by Haruomi Tomotsuka, an ongoing supernatural comedy series that started back in 2022. Clouds blacken the sky, and sheets of rain turn the mountain forest into a treacherous maze. A landslide crushes a razor wire fence and buries a no trespassing sign. As two young siblings venture into a dark world to which they do not belong, a long, horrid shadow rears up to them. And look, I'm not a malevolent deity, okay? Aren't you kids gonna freak out about my monstrous visage? Anyway, so that's how we met Dara-san. She might look kinda scary, but just wait until you get to know her. From HarperCollins, we have Plus-Sized Misadventures in Love, Volume 1, written and drawn by Mamakari. All Yumeko ever saw were her flaws. Her unhappy outlook infected not just her, but everyone around her too. It's only after a car accident that leaves Yumeko with amnesia that she wakes up with a brand new lease on life, one that attracts all kinds of adventures and maybe even love. From Yen Press, we have Isekai Samurai Volume 1 by Keigo Saito. This one's an action fantasy isekai series that started back in 2023. As the dangerous warring states period draws to a close, the unparalleled warrior Ginko hungers for a glorious death at the hands of a foe who outclasses her. Above all else, she yearns to die with her samurai pride intact. So after years of fruitless wandering, Ginko desperately prays to the Buddha in a last-ditch effort to attain what she seeks. When she next opens her eyes, however, she finds herself in the midst of battle, with a dragon looming overhead in an entirely different world. Amid a strange new land chock full of monsters to challenge, will Ginko meet her match? Alya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian, Volume 1. This is the manga adaptation of the light novel of the same name, and of course it is published by Yen Press. From Saho Tenamachi, with art by Momoko. Alisa Mikhailovna Kujo is Seidei Private Academy's solitary princess, a half-Russian beauty who treats everyone with an ice-cold attitude. But there is one exception. Masachika Kuze, her nerdy classmate, is the only one who gets to call her by her nickname, Alya, and when she mutters in Russian under her breath, pretending that she's telling him off, she's actually gushing over how cute he really is. It's a good thing Masachika doesn't speak Russian. After all, if he was secretly a Russian expert who could understand every embarrassing flirty line coming out of her mouth, that'd be the worst, wouldn't it? From 7 Seas Entertainment, we have Himegasaki Sakurako is a Hot Mess, Volume 1. This is by Kosuke Yasuda, an ecchi rom-com ongoing series from 2020 onward, first published in 2020. Who wouldn't have a thing for Himegasaki Sakurako? With her blonde pigtails, cute demeanor, and buxom body, she draws all of the eyes at school. If only her crush, Mimori Natsuki, saw her as more than his childhood gal pal. Can this lovable loser stop getting into embarrassing situations and finally land the boy of her dreams? Okay, so there it is. That is a lot of new material coming out. I hope you liked this video. Hit the like button if you did. Comment down below what manga you're most excited for in the month of June. So that is going to be it, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. As always, God bless. Stay safe out there. I will catch all of you on the next one.